pilots more.
I've heard you say before that if the Earth were really a sphere, these airline pilots would be having to adjust the nose of the plane like every few seconds. There's no way you could just stick an automatic pilot for a couple of hours and it would adhere to the surface of the globe. There would be constant correction required.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I get people come to me, and oh well, Santos, I know a pilot, and he said this and that, and you never, and he said that occasionally you've got to correct the horizon on the aeroplane for curvature, and I said, and that's so easy to to destroy, because flying at just do the math, flying at 600-700 mile an hour, which is their average speed, right, around about the speed of sound, a little bit under, maybe 500, right? For the Earth's curvature, so that's 500 miles in an hour. So they would have to constantly be nose diving to account at that speed for the curvature of the Earth, and they're not. I've been in a plane where you're sitting there flat level and you can feel it. You can feel it for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. In fact, for freaking ever.
And you can look out the window and see that you're remaining straight.
Forever. You go in a plane, test it out for yourself. Unless you're an idiot, you can tell that the plane is not adjusting one single teeny weeny bit. It is flat forever. And this is why they have gyroscopes in planes. Gyroscopes would be totally redundant, pointless, a stupidity to even put them in any of these Mark III, Mark IV planes if we didn't live on a flat plane. You see?
You touched on it briefly there, but just to get into the really profound spiritual implications of us living on a flat plane as opposed to a sphere. We look at the sun, moon and planets and we see them as spheres. We're taught that they're spheres, which is why we're so familiar with the idea that we are too. We just think of all the planets and all these heavenly bodies as being spheres, and we imagine that we're just a part of that. But if the Earth is different, it has profound implications, because it means this place is special in creation.
Miss that shit. Man, this crazy. Which is weird though, because there's like a moon over here. That's why I thought it was weird, but I was like, whatever. There's two of them.
We are the center of everything, and therefore we as spirits that get manifested here in physicality, we must be special too, because we're a part of this place. And I know that skeptics will say it doesn't matter what shape the Earth is when there are bigger problems and issues around. There are other things we need to address, and we can worry about what shape the bloody Earth is afterwards. But I know you would argue that it is actually of profound importance in terms of how we view ourselves and our place here. It really does matter.
Absolutely it does matter. How dare you say such an offensive, stupid thing, I would say to them, because clearly all lies must be exposed, especially the bigger ones. This is the biggest one, and all the others hinge on it. So to say such a thing is offensive to the intelligence of the spiritualized beings and the ones who are advancing the truth movement today. These ones are discrediting the truth movement, contrary to what they say that the flat earthers are. They are dragging their heels, because the evidence is out on the table. It's a done deal, case closed. I rest my case with Tesla. Tesla says gravity is a crock, and relativity of Einstein, he thought Einstein was a monkey man with his relativity hocus pocus. So I rest my case with him. He was an intelligent that he could wipe the table with my intelligence, 10 times over. So I don't have to argue. I've got Tesla, I've got other great people, great scientists who know that the Earth is a flat plane and a flat disk, and it's only, benefiting and serving the elite classes, that we are dragging our heels on this matter. I would suggest to these half-truthers, get on these videos, get on the information, study it, do your own research, you lazy bums, because you're dragging everyone else behind. One evidence, like the evidence I gave, how can you have a target-shaped bullseye, North Pole time-lapse star trails, if you are both rotating and orbiting at the same time. Think, for God's sakes. It's disgusting that you can't even think that one through. It's impossible that we are spinning or moving. Impossible, totally. Both movements cancel each other and cancel those images totally, totally. And so, you know, what are we doing? We're arguing with kindergarten children that insist that Santa Claus came down the chimney because they heard it at school.
We know that the dark occult controllers of this place love offering little clues for those with eyes to see through their favourite tactic of placing the truth right there in plain sight. You know, things like predictive programming. This is an area that I get into myself big time in my public talks, and it forms a big part of the book that I've got coming out, because I'm really fascinated by this tactic whereby they seem to feel the need to convey to us the truth of what they're doing in encoded form, because they know that only a few will ever recognise and see it.
What's this? A baseball? A bowling ball? Cinderella's ball?
No, it's a globe of the earth.
Get back. You mean the earth isn't flat? I must have missed that part.
Boy, he has been in that lamp a long time.
I gotta check this out.
But as far as they're concerned, they've alleviated the burden of karma that would ordinarily come down on them, because they've given us an opportunity to know by doing just that, placing the truth right there in plain sight. And with regard to the flat earth, I'm thinking about things like The Truman Show.
People figured out that we were an enclosed system. The more advanced we got, it would be the biggest thought on our minds. That's all we care about. You could make a wildlife preserve 1,000 miles square. All people, all human beings would do is just be knocking on the fence constantly, going, why is this fence here? Who built the fence? Why are we in here? And so on and so on.
Why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented.
Movie, for instance, with Jim Carrey, where his character is seen sailing off towards the horizon to try and escape this nightmare world of illusion that he's discovered he's living in, and he hits the side of this dome, and he realised that he's actually enclosed within this dome-like structure. And then you've got the Simpsons movie that came out a few years ago, where a giant dome is placed over the top of Springfield, and everybody's trapped inside it, and they're trying to work out how they can get out of it. And I'm just wondering if those two examples and many others like them are the controllers letting us know, giving us an opportunity to know this truth about where we actually live, knowing that only a few will ever see it. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, this is what confuses the half-truthers who are still buried in their indoctrination. I've heard people say, "Oh, it's a psyop because the Freemasons are pushing," and the Jewish connection with the Freemasons. Of course, they will be pushing the flat Earth because it is Jewish. The Hebrew scriptures teach only a flat Earth. They don't teach heliocentrism, demonism. The scriptures are pure and true. And of course Christians are going to be saying, "Oh, we're the center of the universe and we're special and important and God created the flat Earth." And so there are Christians teaching it too. There are Muslims. Google Muslims and flat Earth and you'll see hundreds of them. Pastors, imams, teaching. The Quran specifically preaches that we have a absolutely 100% flat disk Earth. There is no ball. That's hocus pocus. So, and so, they will naively say that, ignorantly say that, this proves that it's a psyop. The contrary is true. This shows that these people are are starting to see the truth of their scriptures, and they can't deny it. And the truth must come out. All things hidden will be revealed in the last hour. This is the last hour. This is meltdown, Armageddon, Gotterdammerung for the demons and the powers that be and the elite. They're running scared because now we're pointing right at them, and we know where the source of all evil is. It's not the Bilderbergers, the Jews, the Vatican, the Jesuits, the Knights of Malta, blah, blah, blah. It's demons. We have an infestation of demons, and we have had since Aristotle, since the Iron Age began. And there was a parting way, and the materialists went one way, and the spiritualists went one way, and Rome closed the spiritualist Neoplatonic schools. And blessed the Aristotelian buffoon materialist schools, and the whole world agrees with Aristotle that we are a speck of dust flying around insignificant Big Bang style rock, spinning ball, hocus pocus buffoonery.
Yeah. The Richard Dawkins model.
Yeah. And so where's the creator? No glory to the intelligent design. These idiots steal worthy glory from its due source and take it for themselves. Richard.
Out there, I'll be honest and say that I used to be an atheist. I spent many years quite bitterly adhering to that worldview, and I read books by Richard Dawkins and such, and I really did believe that there was nothing spiritual out there, and that we were a kind of cosmic accident, and there was nothing beyond death. But, you know, I did wake up. I looked at evidence that was all around me. I read widely. I considered and reflected and mused and was prepared to take on lots of different information from different sources. And I got to where I needed to be, which was an understanding that absolutely we are part of something much greater, and we are aspects of consciousness, and we're aspects of the divine, and our lives do have purpose. And, you know, it's so much more than just some random cosmic accident. So people can change their viewpoints with the availability of new information, you know, new evidence, and coupled with intuition as well, that inner knowing. You know, I certainly got there.